Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this February 14th, a Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. The first story we want to follow today is what in the heck's going on? Two more trains derailed across the United States after a Ohio catastrophe. Now, in Ohio, there's big toxic flumes of this toxic gas going everywhere from a huge train derailment. Now, two more train derailments. This is what's interesting. Let's go back in time a little bit. Do you guys remember when all of these food warehouses and food distribution centers were blowing up and going on fire? A whole bunch of them, pop, 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 they were going. Right? Now it's train derailments. Pop, 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 pop. Train derailments. Pop, pop, boom. What do you guys think the odds are that all this is just coincidental? First, the food distribution warehouses a few months back, you remember. And now all these train derailments. Something weird's going on. Really weird. And what about the balloons? Well, you know that big balloon, the big balloon, that the Chinese balloon that was the size of three school buses or bigger. It was big. It was up high in the sky. Well, what if all of these so-called UFOs in parentheses, UFOs in quotation marks, what if they're all just like they said that the first one they shot down was half the size of a car? What if there are balloons too? Why would the government want to make us think that they're UFOs? And why would they be so quiet? And this is what I'm just speculating here, guys. I mean, I got a lot of questions. There's so much stuff going on. It's weird stuff. For instance, a balloon that's only half the size of a compact car would not be much bigger than a balloon that you could buy at the dollar store. More or less toy size balloon. That's not a very big for a balloon. I mean, I've seen kids' balloons that were like 3 feet in diameter. And so it'd only have to be about 6 feet in diameter for a balloon to be the size of half the size of a subcompact car. First off, what I hear is they fired the first Sidewinder missile at the thing. A Sidewinder missile is about 8 or 10 feet long, and it weighs hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and it cost $400,000, and the first one missed when shooting right on by the thing. And I had to fire another Sidewinder missile. Well, now they're up to $800,000. But who cares? It's just tax-paying money. Well, I mean, they'll come after you with their new army of IRS agents. When they shoot these things off at $400,000 a pop. And let's not count all the jet fuel it takes to get out to where. And what are they shooting down? Maybe it's just something that's just a little balloon. Maybe. I'm just saying. And then they want to tell us that it's some big flying saucer or something. Our government. Well, I suppose it's better than spending money trying to figure out why monkeys have fleas. I mean, these programs that they have like that, they're into an unlimited pool of money, and guess who's paying for it all? The people out there. One way or another. And a hidden tax of inflation. So let's talk about inflation. That's a hidden tax that they're taxing you on top of all the other taxes that they're charging you. They're crushing the people to death. Not actually crushing the people to death, but the way they're doing it is they're squeezing everybody so you're not going to be able to put food on the table in the end. The incompetence, and take a look at this. Talk about inflation, the hidden tax. Look at this. U.S. stocks drop on higher than expected CPI print. So the inflation's going up. It's not going down. It was I think 8.1% there, and that's what they expected. And it turns out it's 8.3%. So the inflation rate's not going down, it's going up. With all this stuff the Fed's doing to try to control inflation, inflation's going up instead of down. I mean, we've had enough time to prove the theory whether the Fed could bring down inflation. And I was thinking maybe they could make some disinflation. No, they're not even making disinflation. The CPI is going up. It's higher than expected. Bloomberg U.S. equity indexes fell to, and two-year Treasury yields jumped after year-over-year U.S. inflation data came in higher than expected, opening the door to further rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. They're going to rate hike too. This is what they're going to do. They're going to rate hike and rate hike and rate hike until they've priced out the housing market and until they've priced out the banking system. And you guys better prepare for this, because I'm telling you guys, things are going to get rough. Because first off, leadership right now is totally, I'm not going to say they're incompetent, but what the hell's going on with them? It's like we're under a wine press or something. We're a bunch of grapes. The people out here. Let's take a look at the silver price today. 21.87 today. It's down 11 cents. Meanwhile, silver and gold are being suppressed down lower. Oh my goodness, I'm going to tell you guys what. An awful lot of these other guys out there are telling you that gold and silver are going to go to the moon right away. I'm not thinking they're going to go to the moon right away. I'm thinking they're going to go to the moon when they give up this inflation fight. What they're going to do is they're going to get what they wanted. The Federal Reserve is going to continue to fight inflation until they get what they want. They're going to get a market crash. And when the market falls on the bed, then they're going to change direction. But as long as we see these markets holding up, staying well above 30,000 on the Dow, you're going to see the gold and silver are not going to go where you want them to go. You guys want them to go up, right? You want to see your gold and silver. You want to see something happen with gold and silver to the upside. It ain't going to happen big time until the markets do what they're going to do, until the Fed relents and says, okay, actually, it's going to be more than relent. The Fed's going to be squealing like a little pig that's got stuck with a pin. We didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. And then they're going to go back. They're going to go back on everything that they've tried to do. They're going to go back to quantitative easing. They're going to go back to stimulus measures. They're going to go back to whatever they have to do to try to bring the markets out of the monster of a slump that they're going to create. And they're just going to keep going like they're doing until they get that. They're going to keep pushing this, poking the bear with a stick. Anyway, down 11 cents on silver today. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's had a big swing there, but it's at $18.58. It's up $5.60. Let's take a look at cryptocurrency today. And crypto has rebounded a little bit. 22,182 on Bitcoin, and Ethereum is 1553. It's rebounded back over $1 trillion for the industry. Let's take a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and it's at 34,233. It's down 12 points on the day so far. Taking a look at the S&P 500 is at 4144. It's up 7.66 points up. Taking a look now at crude oil. Crude oil's at 79.31. It's down 83 cents on the day. Bonds and rates today, and we're looking at rising yields. The U.S. 10 years at 3.75. It's up 3.4 basis points, and the U.S. 30 years at 3.79, and it's up just marginally. Okay, U.S. dollar index today is at 102.96, and it looks like it's actually dropping, but not very fast. Anyway, guys, I just wonder what's up. Something's going on, and with this whole thing about first the food distribution centers a while ago, and now these train derailments, one after another after another. I'm starting to think to myself that somebody or something could be targeting our infrastructure. It could be part of this war. I just don't know. I'm just speculating here because it just seems to me that this is kind of a little bit beyond coincidence. You know, but maybe it is coincidental. But I mean, it almost seems like certain aspects of our economy or certain aspects are being targeted. And we do have enemies out there. You know, specifically to name one is Russia. I mean, basically the West is at war with Russia. And so, I mean, what can I say? And so, it's a really bad situation in the world right now. And the world is getting on a war footing right now. And they're preparing for war. The United States is preparing for war with China. China's preparing for war with the United States. Russia is preparing for more war. They're building weapons as fast as they can all around the earth. So guess what's coming next? I'm going to say it to you guys. They're using tremendous amounts of ammunition. And it's going to take a lot more because the war effort is increasing. What happened in World War II was that they put rations on almost everything so that they could build munitions. It requires a lot of things like nickel, steel, copper. It requires to make all these munitions. And when they ramp up munitions productions, also things like gasoline, everything, they become shortages for the people. They take from the people so that they can build all of these war weapons so that they can just blow them all up. And then they make you suffer. They say, okay, here, we're going to ration sugar. Now you can only have like one bag of sugar a year or whatever, you know, or here, we're going to ration gas. And they only let you have a little bit of gas. Well, they splurge and spend all the gas on their war efforts and stuff. Kind of like those Sidewinder missiles. You know, at $400,000 a piece, and they fire the first one. No, sorry, I missed. Big deal. Load her up again. 800,000, no problem. The pop-up probably what was a little, maybe was a little balloon that maybe was only cost the Chinese $5. You know, a little bit of gas inside the thing, and let her go, and she floats across the United States at 20,000 feet. You know, and I mean, that's could be what it was. I'm not saying that's what it was, but and then why do they come along and tell all of us it's UFOs, unidentified? Can't they? Don't they know what a balloon looks like? Maybe maybe they want to not make it think that make us, because they're spending all this money shooting them down. Maybe they want us to think that that they're doing something big, you know, and important. You know, I don't know. Now maybe they were. I wasn't up there. I didn't see what these objects were. But it seems awful suspicious that a balloon flies over. And I don't know what's going on with them, the subterfuge behind all of this. I just think that they should be much more open with the people out there, and not be misleading us in certain directions so that we think one thing and they're actually doing something completely different. It's basically government gone wild. The people have lost control. They don't have any control, and with unlimited budgets, and you're going to pay for it all. And yeah, we have a right to complain a little bit, you know. Sure, we have a right to complain a lot. Sure, we should be very upset about the things that are happening in the world right now. Instead, people are complacent. Most people don't even know what's going on. Most people are just too busy making money so that they can buy a bunch of Sidewinder missiles to fire off at whatever. Sure, it's great fun for them. I mean, it's like putting off fireworks. But I mean, the taxpayer has to pay for it all ultimately. And you're going to pay for it in inflation. You can't save money anymore. You might as well forget it. Put money in the bank, you're going to be losing over 8% per year due to the purchasing power of that money. And that is very conservative because they've adjusted these rates and stuff, seasonally adjusted rate or whatever, and they're lying to you. It's not 8%. You can just double it. It's really probably 16, maybe even 20% of your money every year if you try to save. So what is it going to do to you? Let's just say it's 16%. The first two years of saving, you've lost 32% of your money. Oh, your money's still there, but you go out and try to spend it, and you're not going to be able to buy half as much as you were a couple of years earlier. People are going to start catching on to this pretty damn soon. And they're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy whatever it is now before the price goes up higher. Whatever they want. And this is part of what's feeding the inflation. And they can't get rid of it now. It's entrenched. So here we go, guys. When the Fed is forced, because the banking system is starting to collapse, and the markets will start to collapse at a certain point, and when they're forced to change direction, then look at your inflation rate. We'll catch you guys in the next show. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.